It's week 3 of the National Football League. And up next, we'll see Aaron Jones. He had a nice effort a week ago with a pair of touchdowns. It's the Packers and the Bucs coming up next.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. Taking it about the 1. Green Bay's offense trots out, and just as it has been since week 1 of the 2008 season, Aaron Rodgers leads the way, now in his 18th year in the National Football League.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
And they'll get to it quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22. The numbers for Jones last week, 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers, and he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. So the completion results in 9 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Could be more than a half a foot. This defense for the Buccaneers very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
He was locked in last week, NFC Offensive Player of the Week in Week 2.
Clear some space in the trophy room. He won it last week. He's thinking he's going to get a few more before this season is over, maybe even starting with this game.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory.
Today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
And Jones is not going to have the first down as they stop him short. Calling no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Now Sterling Hoffrichter set to punt. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Tampa Bay's offense set to take the field, and of course the quarterback, 23-year veteran who's had a Hall of Fame career several times over, the great Tom Brady.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the 1 being the victory.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw one when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit. Good-naturedly, but they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, but as you said, they got the win in that effort last week. Big Kenny Clark that time, pushing upfield to make the tackle for loss.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Meanwhile, Brady's throw complete here, pulled in by Brady. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Fournette, a first down carry. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down. The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week: 24 carries, 95 yards, and a score.
And we all know he had a big workload last week, so I'm eager to see if they decide to back him off a little bit. Personally, I hand it to him 20-plus times again. When a running back's locked in like he is, I want him to keep touching the football.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Brady now to throw. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. He completes it to Julio Jones. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 39. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. The Bucs at 2-0 here to begin the season. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1. He handed it off there, but I don't really know if he would have kept it or tried to do anything else if it would have mattered.
Yeah, it's not always a wrong read when a play gets stacked up. Sometimes they're just at the line of scrimmage with just too many bodies to maneuver.
And as a result, now they're looking at a 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Brady. Open man has got it. It's complete. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Charles, their first drive of the game, and already they're taking chances here, but they get the 4th down conversion. I'm curious, do you think that that's something they game plan for on the opening drive if it came up, or is that something that happened organically?
I think that they game plan for it, Brandon, and when you think about it, let's just say it. The word analytics is a big part of how everyone looks at a game nowadays, but it's not just the analytics. It's a coach willing to be daring, willing to be bold, and they certainly were there.
Five yards remain on 2nd down. To throw is Brady. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And in for the Buccaneers, touchdown. Chris Godwin, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bucs are on the board first here this afternoon. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turning to his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym. Preparing for the fight. Now we get to run loose.
Now it's Ryan Succop on after the touchdown to kick it away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little little bit more greedy at the end, trying to squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. On the counter, here's Jones. And he'll be upended at the 33, following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Cobb. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. The Packers with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now it's Rodgers. And this is caught by Watkins. Throwing again on 2nd down. Rodgers. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of it.
Get a 9 to carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Brady going to sling this out wide to Godwin. 2 yards, good enough for a first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Dean Lowry. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Up the gut, Fournette. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
2 minutes gone by, second quarter. To throw, it's Brady. Over the middle, he finds Godwin, complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 36. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. Brady gives this to White. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down. Well, Charles, now we take a look here at their 2022 draft class. No first-round pick for them this year, but it seems like they're able to overlook that, at least in talking to them, with the type of upside that they found on days 2 and 3.
Hey, you're right about that. No first-round pick, maybe. But there was a point where their top selection did have his name thrown out there as a possible first-rounder. So now, as you described, they hope they can develop those traits and get a couple of difference makers out of the middle rounds. Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Another try after the first down sack. Brady. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
The Bucs on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Shotgun now for Brady. Evans has it left side. And they'll get to him short of the first down at about the 16. So Brady departs, and on is Ryan Succop for the Buccaneer field goal. A 33-yarder from the left hash. Succop's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
Take it in at the 3. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Some good games coming up here in Week 3, the first weekend of fall officially. And tonight, the Niners and Broncos from Denver. 49er fans are probably saying, wait, I thought we were done with Russell Wilson. No, they'll see him tonight. And then on Monday night, Cowboys and Giants from MetLife Stadium kicking off at 8:15 Eastern. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Now a draw play. This is Jones. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Throwing is Rodgers. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. Off the option, it's Jones. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Aaron Jones, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are back within a score. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. That time, a 9-play drive. And the last play in the drive was a touchdown run by Aaron Jones. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Leonard Fournette and the rest of the Bucs offense set to take over once more.
And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong, only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game so far. It reminds me of when I first went to the University of Tennessee. And believe it or not, I was a quarterback for a day and a half. And the first practice session, the first play we ran was 28 pitch, which is a toss sweep. And I remember the offense coordinator saying, that's our identity, that's our bread and butter, that's the basis of our offense. We got to get that down right here, right now. I think we're seeing some of that in this running game here.
So did you not get that down, and that's why you were moved to the defense, or what?
I don't know for that reason, but I do know I saw a couple of guys throw, and immediately they were saying, you need to learn how to backpedal.
Hey, you turned into a heck of a DB, though, partner.
It's grabbed over the middle by White. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 42. That throw by Brady incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops and escape this drive.
Brady's throw taken in by Evans here. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down. Again, they'll throw with Brady. Look at Mike Evans' way again, and he's got another one. And he is going to have the Bucs first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. Succop's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks will tell us end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Taken in at the 3. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's John. No break needed. Let's get back to it. Week 3, here we go with quarter 3. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Bucs with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. So here are the Bucs to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. On play action, now Brady. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Evans. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
On first down, Brady. There's Evans again, complete. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
That next teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
9 season in the NFL, and Cameron Brate just keeps sticking around to make plays like that. Undrafted out of Harvard back in 2014, he has certainly outlasted many other tight ends since that time. He's a quarterback's best friend, and he's more than earned a run as Tampa Bay starter. That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Now Brady throwing on second down. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Here's Brady to throw. Here's White. They set up the screen. And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26. So Brady departs, and on it's Ryan Succop for the Buccaneer field goal. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. Succop's kick is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So that one is his 3rd of the game. And you're wondering, it's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. Succop now set to kick it off following the made field goal. Taken in at the 3. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And his throw here is incomplete.
Just when they need a wrench from the offense is when they get them into this spot. And now they're continuing to try to make completions. They won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. On now is the Packers punter, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
And Brate, the tight end's got it. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Brady to his tight end, Brate, for the Tampa Bay first.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Brady with a quick throw here to Evans out wide. Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Brady. And, oh, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. He made a terrific play.
Underneath, he's got Brate. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks. A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Throwing now is Brady. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's 2nd down. Brady going to throw. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to... Precise, he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 35. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Eluding the pressure right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
This is where good coaching and execution come into play, because down this close, you absolutely don't want to turn it over. Good job keeping that in mind as he escaped, bought time, and decided throwing it away was his best option.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Here's Fournette. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal.
This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on, and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Leonard Fournette taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Bucs' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. To the 4th and goal, their head coach gave the offensive line one more chance to punch it in, and this time they were successful.
They certainly paid off the coach's confidence, didn't they? And how about the fact that they stayed with the ground game? Because a lot of times in that situation, partner, we see teams try and roll the quarterback out, give him a little run-pass option, and treat it like a 2-point conversion play. In this case, they went with a little bit more power and got it done.
They will run it. It's Fournette. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead. Now it's Ryan Succop on after the touchdown to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Lavonte David in on the tackle.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Again, it's Jones. And he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32.
I do know from experience that when you slow down so much running game, you're not doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you get ready to tee off from their quarterback because they control it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep it.
Back now in Tampa. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the 4th. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Running left, it's Fournette. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'd be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a 1st down to boot. To throw is Brady. Looking for Godwin. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And this is going to be Packer football.
Well, maybe it hasn't exactly been a Rembrandt, but they've been mistake-free to this point and finally cough it up. I don't think it's going to cost them the game. They should be fine. But, boy, they're going to hate that going back and watching tape and being able to say we were that close to achieving our goal of 0 turnovers during the game.
A little blemish, but as you say, still comfortably in command. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
Oh, partner, when you see a screen pass and the defensive tackle ends up making the play, you know that one wasn't sold well at all because he should be upfield by the time you throw the pass. If not, you end up with big trouble, as we just saw right there.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw brought in by Watson. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. The Packers on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. And gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding 2nd half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a 1st down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire 2nd half.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now Rodgers. Throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. And the Packers are going to be set up with a first and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down.
That is caught by Cobb, and it's a Packer touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown there, and the Packers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead down to 10, 24-14. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. He takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Get a look at receiver Chris Godwin as this offense returns for their next drive. They might want to mix something up defensively because he's been shredding them a bit, hasn't he?
That he has, and even with all the changes that you know are going on the defensive side of the ball, he's still finding ways to get open, finding the right spots, and the delivery has been pretty good, too.
He's over 100 yards, has the 1 touchdown score to this point. 58 yards on the ground for him so far. So 4th quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock with Fournette. They'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Well, the jet sweep, this is Godwin. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
The Bucs on 3rd down. Well, they've converted 7 times and could use another right now. Here it's 3rd and 2. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jones. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 33. 15 yards there on the catch and run. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've done it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. They go right back to White here on 1st down. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Fournette on the counter. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So not quite a first and goal. It's first and 10 from the 10. Again, it's Fournette. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Inside handoff now to Fournette. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option. You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh? And let's see, the Packers defensively 6 DBs, so a dime look on third. Could play coverage or bring pressure. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the Packers are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. So a good drive with a bad ending, Charles. They move it down the field well. Cannot finish it off, though, as it's intercepted in the end zone.
Deflating, that has got to be the word here, because they were sharp in moving it down the field. But sometimes you start thinking like a touchdown is a given. And it doesn't always work out that way, as we saw there.
So now Rodgers in the pack. Down 24-14. A minute 15 remaining. The turnover does give them life, but they still need 2 scores. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Give him big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Now Rodgers. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Carlton Davis picks it, and the Bucs are going to take possession of the football. We knew this was going to be a tall order anyway, down 2 scores with this little time remaining, but that interception puts it in to any hopes that they had.
All right, partner, work with me here, because obviously scoring a touchdown, getting the onside kick, then going down, scoring again, well, that's asking a lot, isn't it? And that's really not a great expectation to begin with. I think they'll look back on this game and see what got them in this spot in the first place and say to themselves, we really gave this game away.
Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Brady going to look to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Preston Smith comes in for the sack.
This is a little hard for me to compute, because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Charles, a very simple mission anytime that you play on your home turf, and that is to defend your home turf, and today that mission was accomplished.
Look, every offseason, every preseason, the head coach goes in front of the team and says, the mission for the season, defend our home field every time, split on the road, and we'll be in the playoffs. That's why defending the home field is vital.
So for Tampa Bay, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll have another home date next week as the Kansas City Chiefs come to town. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, they'll fall to 1-2, and they'll try again next week.